Hey, Jeremy Hood here, founder of Restaurant Results Partners. We help local independent restaurants increase their sales and profits. And today I want to show you how you can start bringing in new customers as soon as tomorrow, the next 7 days, using a software called Manychat and your Facebook page. So to do that, like I said, you're going to head over to manychat.com and it's going to ask you to sign up, which you'll do with the easiest way is to do that with your Facebook profile. So after you log in, it should look like this, and you're just gonna click Facebook Messenger. Find, if you have multiple pages that you manage, you'll see all those here, but just click the one that you want and click connect, which I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna show you how to do this. And from there, you'll need to head into the settings to give it a quick setup. So they do have a free trial, but to take advantage of this template that I'm going to be using today, you will need to go ahead and activate the Pro plan, which is just $15 a month. And also, because you might be sending out emails, just do the $10 minimum on filling out the balance. So $25 to get started is pretty affordable. First, you can, if you need to add any team members to monitor the live chat, because people will be responding in Facebook Messenger, so you can manage all those comments in here. You can add them here. It'll just give you a link that you can send them. It'll be good for 24 hours, and they can sign in with their own Facebook account. From there, connect as many of these channels as you want. It should be pretty straightforward. Just find the one that you want, click connect. I'm going to head back to the settings. So for the purposes of this video, definitely make sure you have Messenger connected, which you're logging in with that, so it should be. You will want to head to this main menu and click edit, and then the default menu, click open. So by default, it shows this unsubscribe button to everyone. Just turn that off. They can still unsubscribe by clicking, saying unsubscribe or stop, but we just don't want to show them that button unnecessarily. If you want to text people, you will have to buy a phone number with Twilio, and there's a little bit of a registration process that could take 1 to 3 weeks to get started, so I'm not going to do that here. But email, you will want to connect, and you have to include your address to be spam compliant. Just gonna make sure that looks good. If you are paying for the Pro account, I would turn off the Manychat branding. So by default, it's gonna send from the default Manychat address, which is fine. I definitely would recommend adding your own. It needs to be a business email, so it needs to be something at yourdomain.com. It can't be a Gmail account or Yahoo account. And the reason being is if you're gonna let the system send from this default Manychat address, then you don't know how many hundreds of other people and other businesses are using that, and let's just say it's not a good look. It's going to hurt your deliverability. All of our accounts that are using branded emails see open rates in the 40 to 50% range, where before we had those set up, we're using this and it's usually like 20% or less on the open rates. So to add that email address, go ahead and fill this out. If you want it to reply to something else, then let's go ahead and put that here and leave that box checked. So we're going to click add address. So first thing you're going to have to do is verify it. I'm going to click on that link real quick. I'm going to pause it. All right, so I opened up my email. I clicked on the link and refresh this page. So now instead of saying not verified, it says not authenticated. So this next step, you'll probably need whoever handles your website to help you out. And from there, you're going to click on authenticate. and you just need to add these little snippets of code to your DNS. Again, I'm not going to get into that on this video, but once you add those, it can take up to 24 to 40 hours to fully propagate, but once you add those, you can click check, and I haven't added those yet, so I'm not going to do it, but once those are authenticated, then you'll be able to send from that email address, and your deliverability will go through the roof once you do that. All right. That's pretty much all we need to do on the setup. So now what you'll want to do is, being logged in, I've included a link to this template, and you're just going to go ahead and paste that link in the URL, and it's going to ask you to install this template. So we're just going to go ahead and click install. We're going to install it find the page that you want. You can leave all this the same. Some of these are custom fields that we've added. We'll add that once we install it. So basically, it's matching these that might already be in your system, which you probably won't have any if you're doing this from scratch. It's going to add those. So you don't really need to do anything here. We'll click install. All right, so from there, it should be in your account, and we can see it right here. So the way we have our folder structure, sometimes people have catering offers and flows. So our default is just the dining room. So in there, we've got an intro sequence and this main entree opt-in. So we're going to be working on the opt-in first. And the very first one that you're going to open up is going to be this one that says JSON. First thing I'd recommend doing, actually, before we even do this, if you want to just change the name here to whatever your brand is and whatever your offer is. In our experience, BOGO entrees generally result in the cheapest cost per subscriber, but also the most amount of money spent when they come visit you in the restaurant, especially if you have a high average ticket. So again, first thing you can do is just go ahead and rename these because you don't need to see. So brand. And then offer, I'm going to leave it as BOGO entree. And I'm not going to rename all the rest of those, but so we're going to add some triggers here first. So you saw me click edit right there. The first one's going to be user clicks a Facebook ad, and just click save. And then we're also going to add user clicks a referral link. Save that. And we'll need to grab this link a little bit later. We don't need it right now. As you can see, there's other ways that you can pull people into Manychat, like comments on a post, or if they send you a message with a keyword. So just so you know, there's lots of ways that you can use this, but we're just going to do those two for right now. The second thing you'll need to do, so when they come into the system, they do have to engage before you can start asking them for their information. So the first message has to include a button, and you can edit this copy to one, it needs to match the offer that you're talking about on the ad. And then, if you want to just change the copy so it sounds like your voice and your brand. There's a little cool button right here. It says auto arrange. If you click that, it kind of lines these up. And this little yellow thing is just an instructions note. You can delete it if you want, but it doesn't really do anything. So after they click this button, we like to add an engagement score. So this helps us later on down the road and see like who are your most active fans. So you can either send them a special offer, or the ones who have a low engagement score, maybe you send them a strong offer to try to get them into the restaurant. So after you make your changes, go ahead and click update. And this is, I didn't make any changes, so it's not showing it right now, but this will say update. And from there, you're going to head to the second step. And this just shows you that they're coming from the previous step. If you want to use different tags to figure out where your customer is at in the journey, then you can do that here. So we have this set, the user field to the current offer to the offers number 1. We're going to then check if they've already subscribed. Obviously, if you're doing this from scratch, they should not have this tag. And if they don't have that tag, which should be most of yours, then we're going to add that tag and send it to the next step. And then if they do that tag, we want to check to see if they've used the offer before. And I do need to make one edit. This period is causing a weird message to show up, so I'm going to change that to a comma. And I'll fix that before this template link goes live. So again, if they've already used it before, they're going to get this message like, hey, sorry, you've already used it. Stay tuned for more coupons or offers. Again, feel free to change this to match your voice. And if they haven't used it, then we're going to check and make sure they've subscribed to our list on Facebook. So we've got this condition here. Again, you don't really need to change any of this. The only thing that you'll really need to change is the copy here. And if you're not going to do a BOGO offer, then you just need to change this tag to whatever your offer is going to be. And we usually like to put the word redeemed in front of that. So just to kind of show you, you won't be able to add a new tag right here, but if you click on this action, let's say, and then once you click add tab, you can, right here to add a new tag. So let's call it, so let's say you're just going to do a $5 off coupon. So you can, just to add the tag, put it there, and then delete it. And then from here, you can click on this condition and just change it right there. But I'm not going to do that. So if they've already subscribed, but they haven't used a coupon yet, we're going to send them straight back to the offer, try to get them to click on that redeem button and get them into your store. And but first, we're going to make sure they subscribe to Facebook. So I'm going to update this. And then from there, we're going to go to a welcome message. So these are for people who haven't subscribed before. They're going to walk through the whole sequence. And again, this is really just telling them that we're going to collect some information from them, and they can unsubscribe whenever you want. So you kind of need to have some terms and conditions and disclaimers there. Again, edit the offer and feel free to change this to match your brand and your voice. So from there, this is already set up to ask for their email, and I'll show you. So this is a user input field right here instead of just regular text, and we have it set to reply type. They have to put an email in, and once they do, it's going to save it to the email field in the system. It's going to set them as opted in to email, and if they enter it incorrectly, it's going to send this message. It's also going to show them a button to skip it because we can't force them to give us the information. But the cool thing is that Facebook obviously already knows their email, so it just shows your customer a button with their email on it, and they literally can just tap it, or they can type in another one if they want. So feel free to edit that if you want to. From here, and again, I need to add one more condition here. Not an email. So we're going to check. And I'm going to rearrange this so you can see it. we're gonna check to see if they've already they've already entered the system at some point and they already gave us their email. We don't want to ask for it again because then we don't look like we're very smart. So we're gonna check if it has any value. If not, then we're gonna ask them for it. If it does have a value, then we're gonna send them to if it does have a value, we're gonna send them to the next step, where we ask for their phone number. And because that was an old tag that we're not using anymore because we're just checking to see if it has any value. So I'm going to update that. Again, the template will be completely updated for you with the link that I share with you. So from here, we're going to add that condition, and again, in the beginning, so we're going to check to see if they've already given us their phone number at some point. Phone has any value. If not, they'll come here, and if yes, they're going to go to the next step. We don't need that tag anymore. Okay. All right, so again, checking to see their phone number. If not, we're going to ask them for it. We're also going to ask if they dined with you before, just so you can have some more data. And the other thing that we do is not in 6 months. We call those lost customers. So after that, we're going to update this. And this is an extra step. If you don't do a birthday offer, let me rearrange this so it looks a little cleaner. Then you don't need to worry about this. Then you can literally just delete this arrow and drag this to this message. But I'm going to assume you do. So we're going to ask, tell us when their birthday is. You can say, let's just say something like, and I'm putting this, the year doesn't matter because Facebook's going to give them a calendar. So some people are trying to click back through 40, 50, 60 years. We just need the month and the day. And then you can create a flow that automatically sends them whatever your birthday offer is, a reminder, as many days as you want before their birthday. We usually do like 3 days before their birthday. So from here, it'll add some tags. Again, if they respond, we're increasing the engagement score just so we can see who's the most interactive with your stuff. If they don't reply, some people get busy and they just kind of like leave the chat. We'll send a reminder message within a 24-hour window. And then from there, we're saying, hey, that's it. Go ahead and click this button to get your coupon. And what this does is it actually subscribes them to your Facebook list, promotions, and updates, which allows you to send basically like a text blast to everyone who's subscribed. And it doesn't cost you anything except for your subscription to Manychat. And it has very high open rates, high like 70s to 90%. So very similar to a text message, they get read. So from there, you'll see if we've already asked them, let's see if I can hide this. If they've already been asked to subscribe and they didn't click on it, Facebook won't send it again. So sometimes that happens and they'll get this message that says, click this button, and they're like, I don't see this button. So from there, we just wait 3 minutes because they should have clicked on it by then. And if they haven't subscribed, then we just kind of go ahead and move them to the coupon. So we're going to move them to the coupon next after they click that button. There's an intro sequence as well. So that we'll talk about in a different video, but that's basically 10 to 12 pre-programmed messages for anyone who subscribes, that they're going to see those about once every 10 days over the next 4 months. But again, we'll talk about that in a different video. All right, so now we're here from the coupon. And again, you can change this. Definitely change this picture, edit this to match your brand, whatever terms and conditions you want to put. this restaurant didn't have great service in the restaurant, so we put the Wi-Fi password on there. If that's not an issue with your restaurant, you can just delete that. We usually put a 14-day expiration date on it, and obviously the message is time-stamped, so it's pretty loose. You'll have people respond and be like, hey, I forgot to use this, can I still come in? And it's up to you if you want to enforce the expiration date. We usually tell people like, yeah, come in the next 7 days and we'll honor it. They can only use it once. And this link, if you remember that very first flow that we started with, we had that referral link, so we need to go back and grab that. So let's go ahead and do that before we get started, before we get too much further into this. So I'm just going to copy that, and then we'll go back to coupon start and edit, and just go ahead and replace what's in there with the one you just copied. So from there, we're going to add a tag that they've received the coupon, and this is where setting up your email is important, because as you can see right now, this one's set out to go from the default Manychat address, and I still need to authenticate mine before I can send it from there. But we usually like to wait about 7 days, and this tag redeemed BOGO dinner is added on the next flow. So again, if you're doing a different offer, you'll need to add a different tag that you're checking for. But from there, we're going to send an email. You could also send a Facebook message here, but maybe not everyone is subscribed to your Facebook list. So if they haven't, it won't go through. That's why we like to send emails. And basically it's a reminder like, hey, we haven't seen you. You signed up for this coupon, come check us out. And we'll do 2 of those. We don't want to bother them too much. And again, even if somebody doesn't respond to this initial offer, that intro sequence that we just showed you in the last one, they're going to get another 10 to 12 messages over the next 4 months. So hopefully they'll respond to 1 or 2 of those. And from this little guy right here, okay, let me pause this and I'll just show you. So you need to, I forgot to show you this in the setup. You need to go to integrations under your settings and connect Google Sheets. Just pick whatever account you want to work with, and click continue and allow. Okay. So we will go back to where we were. By the way, if you see a yellow dot here, that means that we made an edit and we didn't click update. So I'm just going to click update there. All right. So with the Google Sheet integration, we're actually going to extract a bunch of information that we just collected from your customers, and just so that, and I'm not going to do this in this video, but you can set it up with Looker Studio, which is another free Google product, and I'll share this template, but basically you connect this to the Google Sheet and just lets you show your database the results over time. So like I can just change the month here just to show you. So it'll be like just for subscribers and sales in December. So the sheet will just look like this. There's a bunch of headers at the top, and let me see. I'm probably not connected to one. Let me add that real quick. All right, so I'll also include a link to this sheet, but you'll just need to make a copy of it with the Google account that you did the integration with. So from there, you'll need to update this, because unfortunately it doesn't bring everything over from the template. So just go ahead and find that sheet, and there's only one tab on it, so just go ahead and click that. So from here, you'll just need to select the information that you want to do. So always use the full name, because when we go back to update this, we'll check by full name. Email, if you want that. Phone number. If you want to see who's redeemed it, go ahead and select the tag that you're using on the offer for the redemption, and it'll put a true on the sheet, and we'll actually use that to see how many were redeemed. So this is just set up if you have multiple offers. If you want to include their birth date, subscriber birthday, amount spent will be spent offer 1. These again, if you have multiple offers that you're running, you can leave those on there. Offer number will be current offer. First time would be existing customer. I apologize, we're actually gonna put existing customer where it says existing customer. And then here, subscription date is going to be this subscribe. This lets you just see the data over time. And that is it for this first one. So from there, you're going to click update, and we'll head over to second part. So we normally like to ask them, I'm going to click edit because I know I'm going to make some changes here. We'll want them to click redeem one more time, because you'll get people that will click the redeem button as soon as they get it. And obviously you don't want them to do that until they're in the store, especially if you're saying dine in only. And so we're going to say, are you sure you want to do this? You can only do it once. So once they click that one more time, now we're going to add, well, first we're going to check to see if they've done it before. They shouldn't have been able to get this far, but just to double check one more time. If they have, again, sorry, you can't do that. So if not, we're going to send them a quick message, enjoy. We're going to add that tag, then we're going to update the sheet, and then we're going to increase the engagement score by 3. Feel free to change that number if you want, but we're going to have to, again, the template doesn't bring over the Google Sheet action, so go ahead and find your sheet. It's the first worksheet, and we're going to look up by full name, and lookup value will be the full name. And all they've done now is redeemed that offer. So redeemed BOGO dinner. And from there, we have it by default waiting 90 minutes. And we're going to say, hey, would you mind telling us how much you spent? So again, change this copy to match your offer, your brand. And then we're going to say, how was it? You can change this from, these emojis to, if you want to change this to a word, whatever you want to call it, like, hey, it was great, or it wasn't so great. And if they click on the thumbs up button, then we're going to point them towards your Google profile review. So here you'll need to copy and paste the link to your Google profile. You can change this button. We found if you just put leave a review, it doesn't get as many responses as like how many stars, or I have an opinion, something like that. And if it wasn't good, we'll say, oh, sorry to hear that. Well, first of all, you can have it set to notify people, so you can choose your team members if you want them to get notified. And hey, sorry to hear that, would you care to elaborate? And from there, if they elaborate, again, you can add their comments to the Google Sheet. We just want to, again, find it, choose the first worksheet, look up by full name. And then there's a comment. And just find the comments. So from there, it's going to wait 30 minutes, because if you try to do too many updates to the Google Sheet while they're still interacting with it, it can slow down the bot. So that's why we're just waiting a little bit. From here, we want to add I think I already did this in the first section, but it'll just overwrite. Well, there will be nothing in there before, so it's not a huge deal. But this is where we're going to actually add the amount that they spent. So full name, and then spent offer one. And this tag just lets you find people easily that have clicked the review. All right, so I'm going to update this. All right, so that was about 30 minutes. You know, maybe it'll take you closer to an hour by the time you upload your images and update the copy, but still not too bad. Now we've got this automated system that collects information that you can continuously target your customers with. So the next part is getting people into the system. So we're going to talk about creating the ad. So if you don't have an ads manager account, you'll need to create one. Again, there's probably tons of YouTube videos that talk about that. And this is where you should be. I know there's another setting that's, let me see if I can find it real quick. All right, so some of you might be used to clicking on this professional dashboard and then ad center. This is not where we want to be. You'll need to be an ads manager, which looks like this. So I got there by, you can either type in adsmanager.facebook.com or when you're logged into your profile, click Ads Manager right here. So that's going to bring up the same spot. All right, so we're going to create a new campaign. The goal will be engagement, auction, and then we'll click continue. Go ahead and click on manual setup. You can change the name if you want. You won't have any of these, so don't worry about clicking on that. Those, you don't need to change anything. Okay, so that's it for the campaign. So now we're going to do engagement ad set. And you might call this something like your city diners. So we want to send them to a messaging app. Click to message, we'll lead that. Change the page that you're working on. Don't worry about Instagram. So you can set up the same exact flow for Instagram, but one, the subscription list you have to apply for it, it's still in beta, but two, you need to create separate campaigns to either send people to Facebook Messenger or Instagram Direct. So for this purposes of this video, we're just worrying about Facebook Messenger. Goals, maximize number of conversions, which is the number of people that click that message button. So for the budget, I recommend changing this to a lifetime budget. And, you know, if you want to just play with something that you feel comfortable losing, even though pretty confident you won't lose out on this deal. We've been doing it for a while now. But most of our clients spend $500 over 10 business days. So if we were going to start on today, on February 28th, then we'd probably run it till about March 13th. And the reason why I like the lifetime budget over a daily budget is you're not able to edit the schedule. And I've just found that between midnight and 6 a.m., you're not really getting great customers for your business. So, and if this works well for you, all you have to do is go in here for like next month. Say if you just want to do $500 a month. So wait a couple weeks after it stops running, let those people that have subscribed come in and redeem those coupons, and then just come in here, add another $500 to the total, and then just extend the date out to whatever 10 days is from the date that you're editing it. So I'm going to just change this back to 500. And here's the schedule. So click run ads on a schedule. And again, I like to do this business days, Monday through Friday, because I feel like people are in their routine Monday through Friday. They probably check Facebook at certain times of the day, every day, but on the weekend they might be out and about. So again, 6 a.m. till midnight. And then sometimes I just turn it off like Friday at 6 because I feel like that's the weekend. So by doing this, you're going to spend about $50 a day, which is what we found as to be the sweet spot. So now we need to edit the location. We're in a small town. So we want to shoot for an estimated audience size of about 100,000 people. Obviously, this is too big. So I'm going to just shrink this down to the minimum, which is still high. So if you're getting this big, then just put in your actual address. Make sure it's in the right city. All right, if it's not finding that, go ahead and type in the name of your business. So 1 mile, obviously that's too small. So let's go ahead and change this to 4 and see. All right, so that's a little bit bigger. You could probably start closer to 100,000, and then, well, that's not quite enough. All right, so do the minimum that you need to get 100,000. Just to kind of give you an example, don't worry about that. Minimum age, if you sell alcohol, it needs to be at least 21. But we found that just even bumping that up to like 24 or 25, people that actually might be out of college and have money to spend is a better fit. So go ahead and leave this on Advantage plus audience, and I just like to change this to 64 because really a lot of the 65 and plus, some people don't even use their phones, and some of them just really have trouble going through the chatbot. So 24 to 64 is a good one. I'll leave all genders. Placements, you'll want to edit. Go click on manual placements. And again, we're just worrying about Facebook, so we're going to unclick Instagram and the audience network. And we're really just going to worry about the Facebook feed, and the Facebook video feed. And you can play with these other placements as you get going, but to get started, I really just recommend those feeds. All right, so we just had those two. Don't worry about the errors. That's just normal for Facebook's wanting to spend more of your money. All right, so the ad set looks good. Maybe now that I've changed the age a little bit, you can see our audience size dropped a little bit. So I'm going to just go back up and bump that up. Okay. All right, so once that looks good, we're going to click next. We don't need to worry about Instagram. We're not doing that. You can name your ad if you want to. You might want to, I'll say just start with one, but if you eventually you'll want to maybe test different headlines or different pictures to work with. So we're just going to do a single image. And from here, again, I'll leave a copy of this template in here. So this is a single image with 4 images on it. We just found that it really helps people stop scrolling and they try to click on the image because they think there's 4. So that just helps the ad work better. Just to kind of show you really quick what we do, just go ahead. I mean, you want to upload your own photos. I'm just kind of giving you some examples. And you can literally just drag it over the ones that we already have in there and it'll replace that. Let's see one more thing. So these images are probably edited, but yours might not be. So once you get the images onto the graphic, go ahead and click edit and go to adjust. And from here, sometimes we just like to play with the vibrance. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it in this video, but it just makes the color pop a little bit more. So you can just increase that up a little bit for each one, just to make them look nice and pretty. So it just kind of like makes the details a little more clear. So from there, we'll download it. You can leave it as a PNG, that's fine. All right, we'll come back in here, add image, upload. All right, so just go ahead and open the one that we just created. Click next. If you, depending on if you selected different feeds, you might have to edit it, but if you just did what I told you, you shouldn't. Don't worry about these optimizations. I usually just turn them all off. Again, once you run this for a couple times, then you can start playing with it. So now we need to add the copy, and in the course, I've got 2 examples really just to kind of get your wheels turning. So the main thing is, one, this first line, it really needs to clearly call out people who want to eat. So like dinner plans, get a BOGO entree. You might use the name of your city plus diners, like Gainesville Diners, listen up. Make it like super quick. What are they going to get? Hey, a free plate, free barbecue, whatever. Then you can kind of put something that's like a little funny if you want. This has worked well. Like I talked to a lot of restaurant owners where they've been around for a while, but there's still a ton of people in your city that don't know where you are. So we might say something like that. And, feel free to use Chat GPT with this. You just want to keep it short and sweet. You want to tell them to click send message maybe once or twice, because again, like I said, people don't really read instructions. So I'm just going to copy this. And Facebook might give you variations. Feel free to try those if you want. But then we're going to change this headline to click send message, and I need to copy the finger pointing to the right, just to kind of point people's eyeballs in the right direction. Let's see this one. So you can see it kind of shows up right there. Description, you don't need to put anything in here. Sometimes Facebook might autofill for you, so I just put 3 spaces just to keep that blank. So that's it for the ad design. Like I said, we try to keep it pretty simple. So now we need to tell Facebook where we want them to send them in Facebook Messenger. So from here, you'll choose Partner App, and then you'll click Select Flow. So from here, you want to choose Manychat. If you haven't connected this already to your Facebook account, then you'll need to. And then it's pretty smart. So it knows that this flow is that first one, the only one that we've put a trigger for a Facebook ad. So you can see that copy that we've already put in that flow is right there. So this is what it's going to look like when they click on the send message button. They just click on I'm ready. And that's it. You don't need to worry about tracking website events. We're not sending people to your website. So once the ad looks good, once you've selected the right flow from Manychat, all you have to do is click publish, and that's it. And then I'm not going to do that right now, but for the next 4 hours or so, I would check it a couple times. It might take 30 minutes to an hour for it to get approved and turned on, but that first day, You might see, it'll tell you, let me just show you a different campaign. All right, so here's another one that's actually running. So that first day, you might see, so you want to pay attention to the cost per result, and you might see the first day it's closer to $2, but once it gets going and Facebook starts to figure out who's interacting with the ad, you should see that come down. I've seen it come down below $1 before. This one's been running for a little while, so it's at $1.38, and usually about 80% of the people that click on the message will fully subscribe, and then about 20 to 25% of those people will actually come in the restaurant and use that offer. So you can kind of figure out, maybe it costs you $6 or $7 to get someone in the door plus whatever your offer is, which is pretty affordable for especially attracting new clients. So that's pretty much it. I hope it works well for you, and we'll be back.